Want to learn one of the biggest secrets of giving a presentation? Let's have ourselves some pocket-sized pep talk, and I'll throw in a spoiler alert before we do. It doesn't come from the body of the presentation.
A pocket-sized pep talk, the podcast that can help energize your business and your life with a quick, inspiring message. Now, here's your host, Rob Jollis.
I'm on the road this week outside of Philadelphia conducting an executive presentation skills program. It's a program I really like teaching because it allows me to go back to my roots. After all, the first book I ever wrote was not a sales book, but a book on speaking professionally. It was my first bestseller, and now it's in its fourth edition, and I'm pretty proud of that book. Yep, sometimes it's nice to take a break from teaching people how to sell. Of course, that won't be happening this week. That's because the biggest secret in learning to speak professionally is learning how to sell when you speak. Surprised? You shouldn't be. I already wrote a piece about the bizarre fill-in presentation I conducted in place of Bill Clinton. Now I'm here to tell you that that isn't the only president I crossed paths with as a speaker. Once upon a time, the Baltimore County Police Department came out to Xerox looking for a speaker. They wanted this speaker to deliver a keynote in front of over 1,100 hostage negotiators at their annual conference. After observing a handful of Xerox trainers, I was selected. Now, before you pat me on the back, understand I believe I was selected because I firmly believe that the other Xerox trainers they may have chosen ahead of me turned them down. When they sat me down to offer me the presentation after my initial fist pump, the police officer narrowed his gaze and said, I need to tell you two quick things before you say yes. First, although we believe your message of selling and persuasion will be invaluable to our constituents, you need to know that when we broke the news that we're going to get a Xerox copier salesman, they weren't too pleased. Is there more? The policeman continued. Oh, yes, sir. You should know that this group is used to some pretty high caliber speakers. 2 years ago, Ted Koppel was our keynote speaker. And what about last year? With that guarded policeman look, but a slight smile. We had Ronald Reagan, sir. He was quite good. Again, it was dawning on me why I had been, quote unquote, selected. It is possible, though, that I was selected because everyone who worked for Xerox knew that I would not say no to this kind of challenge. Either way, I said yes. I said yes because I put my faith in a process I've now been teaching and writing about for over 35 years. On that fateful day, I had 60 magic minutes, and I spent 15 of them using multiple tactics to sell the audience on my message. That's 25% of my speaking time, just getting them to want to hear about my message. If I told anyone I was going to spend that much time just prepping the audience for the presentation, they would have had a fit. But doing this allowed me to connect the message to what they were doing. For the next 10 years, I received a letter from this committee saying the same thing. Mr. Jollis, your presentation remains the highest rated presentation ever delivered at our symposium. That's something I'm immensely proud of. Yep, I just needed to sell that message that day. Sell. There's that word again. I just can't seem to get away from it. However, can you imagine sitting in a room, learning how to bring a message to life and not learning how to apply selling to presenting? Now, imagine for a moment that you were about to take the stage and give a presentation. Feel a butterfly or two? Now, imagine that I walked over to you and whispered in your ear, I can guarantee that every single person in the audience wants to hear your message and is looking forward to hearing what you have to say. I'll bet you'd feel a lot better. That comes from learning to sell within your presentation. And that is what needs to be taught. And teaching people how to do this happens to be a passion of mine. Now you understand what I'm going to be teaching this week to this group of speakers. I'm getting ready to spend 2 days teaching an audience of speakers how to get up there and sell their presentations. They'll even go on camera delivering 20-minute presentations using this technique. The people in this class will learn how to make their audience want to hear what they have to say. How's that for fun?
Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's show, please rate and recommend it on iTunes, Outcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more information on this show and Rob at jollis.com.